Is here, and today I wanted to talk to you very quickly about the third attachment style, which is the ambivalent attachment style. The ambivalent attachment style basically says that, or describes that is the type of attachment whereby a caregiver is available sometimes and not available at other time. Think about when I was talking about narcissistic and codependent people, and the fact that there might be situations where you have a narcissistic parent who occasionally behaves in a very good way, who occasionally is nice. So such narcissistic parents may have what we call ambivalent, you know, style of might be ambivalent in nature, and this ambivalence then causes you as a child to develop an ambivalent attachment style, which means and implies that your relationship with this caregiver or parent is not stable. There are times that you want to talk to them, you want to be close to them, and there are times you don't want to talk or be close to them. There are times you want to love, be there, just be in their lives, and there are times you don't want to be in their lives. Okay. And so basically, what I'm saying to you today is if you know that, if you know the attachment style you developed as a child, it is likely for you to understand why you're attracting certain people into your life. So if you had an ambivalent or developed an ambivalent attachment style because of the inconsistency in the way in which your caregiver behaved towards you as a child, you would grow up having this secure mindset and sometimes feeling insecure. You grow up feeling, oh, sometimes feeling good about something and at other times not trusting. You would end up being that type of person who shows up in a relationship whereby today you trust your partner, tomorrow you don't trust your partner. Today you are kind to your partner, the next day you become unkind towards that partner. And the reason for that isn't far-fetched. It is because of the attachment style you developed as a child while growing up. And because the familiar is what we usually attract, there are cases whereby a lot of times people with this type of attachment style also end up, falling in love or dating people with the same attachment style. And so it is very crucial that you know the attachment style you developed growing up, and that would guide you in really understanding why you attract the kind of people you attract as friends. And when you know why you attract the kind of people you attract as friends, there's more than likely that you'll be able to understand why you attract the kind of people you attract even in love relationships. When we do not set boundaries or we attract all kinds of friends, we are likely going to attract all kinds of people. I mean, we're going to attract the kind of friends that we keep, even in a love relationship, because we'll be running on autopilot. We'll be running on autopilot, and the idea is what you're used to, you're more than likely going to continue to do, except there is this consciousness on your part to change your paradigm, to shift your mindset, and to do what you've never done before, which is believing that people can be trusted, people can be loved, people can be cared for. And the thing is, what you do not have, you cannot give. If you are insecure, you would attract insecurity. If you are unstable, you attract instability. If you are ambivalent, you attract ambivalency. If you are not consistent, you are attracting consistency. And so very, very crucial that you know where are you coming from and where exactly are you going. If you know where you're coming from and the reasons that you got to where you got to, it is likely you're going to not repeat the same class twice and you're going to do better. And when you know better, you definitely do better, right? And now you know. I think it is now, it's that this is a time in this series where you should sit down and say, who raised me? And who are those that raised me? Did I have a caregiver that was consistent, that was always present, or did I grow up with an inconsistent caregiver? Did I grow up with a narcissistic caregiver or a codependent caregiver? What was the attachment style that I developed as a result of the way in which my caregiver parented me? If you know and understand that you are not the reason for the things that are messed up in your life right now, you are more than likely going to retrace your steps back to the very beginning, because you did not choose your parents, but you can choose who you love or fall in love with or stay in a marriage with, right? So while you could choose your parents, you can choose your lover, you can choose your boyfriend, you can choose your partner, you can choose the person you are going to be committed to for the rest of your life. So it is very important that you get clear on who raised you, one, and what did I become as a result of who raised me. And that will bring me to the end of this 7-day series that I just concluded on the, the different parent caregivers, and the different children that become children as a result of the parenting styles. Let me take that one more time. I went through the last 7 days. My aim or focus was to help you understand the different kind of caregivers out there, right? And beyond that, I also wanted you to understand the different kind of parenting styles that these caregivers would, you know, would usually have, and how those different kinds of caregivers impact the attachment style that you developed or your idea of relationship. So attachment style basically means the relationship that you develop with people, the way you interact with other people, basically is attachment style. There is nothing, there's no other way to describe it. So if you had an insecure attachment with the primary caregiver, that is, you developed a relationship with a caregiver in a way that was unhealthy, in a way that felt like a trauma bond, you are likely going to be that person that manifests trauma bond or that attracts trauma bond. Let me take that one more time. If you had a parent who was not always available, it's either you would attract an unavailable partner or you would become one. If you had a parent who was unstable, it is either you would attract an unstable partner or you would become one. Now, you would become one if you become narcissistic. You will attract one when you are the codependent and you lack boundaries, right? And so I just wanted to chip all of this in. And my book is that tool that will guide you, help you, educate you, just kind of put you on the right path so that you are you know that you're not alone. You know that your story is familiar. Someone went through what you're going through. I have gone through what you're probably going through. And it is very important that you heal. And that is why my story is what you must read. I mean, my book. My book basically should be what you should be reading right now. I mean, you need to go and pre-order my book. You need to go and RSVP to get my book. Even more, you should not just pre-order. You should work towards, how do I put this? I want you to not just pre-order the book, but to also know that there are people like you and you can be a part of our community. You can be a part of the movement that we're building. The Idea for You movement basically is an extension of what we do at the Left-Handers International. And the Bisola Miriam brand is a social enterprise that would work closely with you through coaching, through, coaching and mentorship, so that you are moving from where you are to where you should be, so that you are not stuck, in your situation right now, so you know that you can become a better person. And even more, you do not want to attract nonsense. And the only way you would attract nonsense if you have not taken care of the mess, the baggages in your life. And today I just came here to share with you my thoughts on that. And I want you to know that you are not alone. I mean, you are not alone. You are not what? You are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. Did you hear me? You are not alone. You are not alone. And I want you to know that you should, the earlier you understand that there is healing and healing is possible, the better for you. I just concluded the first 7 days out of the 21 days self-care series, and the next 14 days I'll talk to you about codependency and narcissistic personality types. And when I am done with that, I believe we would have come to the end of the part 2 of my, sorry, for the next 3 weeks, I basically will keep talking to you about codependency and narcissism. And I would use I'll use 7 days to talk about codependency in detail and the signs that you're codependent. And then I'll use another 7 days to talk about the signs that you're a narcissist. And then I'll use the last 7 days to basically talk about how to heal as a codependent or a narcissist. So, and that would definitely bring us to the end of the second part of the 60-day series. And so today is day 37. Basically, that means we have 23 more days to go. And this month, we have just 14 days before this month ends. That means that this series will still like fall, flow into June. And by the first week of June, I will be done with this series. At the end of the first week in June, I will be done with this series. And when we're done with this series, I'll keep talking to you about these issues. I'll keep showing up here to talk about the things you need to learn and why you should learn the things you need to learn. And when we're done with that, I would come here by the end of June to make some announcements specifically on what I will be doing as a coach for the rest of the year. I feel much better and I want to go in. I want to resume coaching from July or June ending, and I will be back here to share with you what the plans for the remaining part of the year is. Abundance is here, there is no lack. God bless you. Take care. Bye.